Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like the reflection staring back at you wasn't your friend anymore? Like you aren't broken on the outside, but something inside you has been quietly bleeding for years? If you have ever carried pain without speaking it, if you've ever smiled while a storm raged inside you, then stay. Because this story might teach you how to breathe again. There was a young man named David Lane, 29, born in Colorado, living alone in a small apartment in Portland. He worked as a customer support agent for a tech company, a job that needed scripted answers, and somehow, his whole life felt like one scripted response. He said the right things. He behaved the right way. But inside his chest lived a wound he never treated. His childhood taught him one thing: don't need too much. His father was cold. His mother carried sadness like a second skin. David learned early that love was conditional, based on performance, politeness, perfection. So he grew into a man who never felt enough. Every night, he replayed his mistakes like a ritual. Every morning, he woke with a heavy sadness he couldn't name. His relationships failed. His friendships felt shallow. His heart never felt safe. It wasn't heartbreak. It was self-neglect. He blamed himself for every loss, every rejection, every silence. One winter evening, after another fight with his anxiety, David walked into a tiny second-hand bookshop to escape his thoughts. Something pulled him toward a shelf near the back. A soft blue cover. Warm title. You Can Heal Your Life. Louise Hay. He picked it up. His fingers trembled. A page opened by itself. One sentence whispered to him, "You have been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens." His heart cracked, because he had never approved of himself. Not once. He bought the book and walked home through cold rain, holding it like it might break. That night, he opened the first chapter. Louise Hay spoke of a truth no one had told David before, that our thoughts become our inner architecture, that our beliefs quietly build our destiny, that our wounds can heal if we stop feeding them with fear. The book said, every problem begins with a belief, and every belief can be changed. David realized he carried beliefs like chains. I am unlovable. I ruin everything. I don't deserve happiness. Everyone leaves. The next morning, he tried something strange. He stood in front of the mirror and whispered, I am willing to learn to love myself. His voice cracked. His throat tightened. Tears rose, because saying it hurt more than staying silent ever had. But he kept going. For the first time in years, he touched the bruise in his heart instead of hiding it. The healing did not start with joy. It started with honesty. In the days that followed, life tested him. At work, a supervisor spoke harshly to him. Old patterns returned. He felt himself shrink, ready to apologize for something he didn't do. But a small voice inside him said, you deserve respect. He didn't shout. He didn't crumble. He calmly said, I'll handle the task, but please don't speak to me that way. It was a small sentence, but it was a revolution. The supervisor blinked, surprised. David walked away with shaking legs, but a stronger spine. The book taught him another truth. Forgiveness is not about others. It is the key that unlocks your own prison. He didn't want to forgive his parents. His body held old storms, but he tried. Each night he whispered, I release you. I release myself. Sometimes he cried himself to sleep. Sometimes he felt nothing. But slowly, the sharpness of the memories softened. One afternoon, he experienced something unexpected. While grocery shopping, he saw a man scolding his child brutally, the same way David had been scolded. He froze. His heart raced. But this time he didn't collapse inward. He breathed deeply and said in his mind, this wound is not who I am anymore. Healing had begun. But transformation is never linear. There came a night when David's ex-girlfriend sent a message. I made a mistake. Can we talk? His heart raced. Old feelings returned like ghosts. She had hurt him deeply, made him feel invisible, withheld affection until he broke. Part of him wanted to go back, because humans crave the familiar, even when familiar is poison. But he sat on his couch, hands trembling, and opened the book again. He read, we treat ourselves exactly how we believe we deserve to be treated. His breath steadied. He typed a reply, I am healing. I cannot return to what hurt me. And he blocked her. His chest ached, but for the first time, it ached with strength. As weeks passed, David began practicing affirmations every morning. I am enough. I am safe. I am learning to love myself. I choose peace. At first, they felt like lies, but slowly, they became seeds. And seeds grow quietly. He started eating better, sleeping better, walking more. He decorated his apartment with warm lights and simple order. He created calm where once there was chaos. A coworker noticed. You seem different, he said. David smiled softly. I'm learning to be on my own side. But healing is a journey of layers. One evening, while cleaning his closet, he found an old journal from his teenage years. Inside were pages full of self-hate, fear, loneliness, and longing. His heart shattered again. He sat on the floor and cried. He cried for the boy he used to be, for the pain he carried alone, for the years he wasted punishing himself. When the tears ended, he whispered through a broken voice, "I'm sorry I didn't protect you, but I will now." That night marked a new beginning. The next day, he wrote a letter to himself, not of pain, but of strength. "I forgive you. I honor you. I will not abandon you again." Soon after, something quiet but powerful happened. David woke up one morning and realized his chest felt lighter, his mind quieter, his body calmer. The book had taught him, when you change your thoughts, you change your life. He hadn't understood it before. Now he lived it. Opportunities started appearing. His supervisor, now respectful, recommended him for a new position, a role in customer experience design. Higher pay, more creativity, more growth. He hesitated. His old belief whispered, "You might fail." But his new belief said, "You might rise." He accepted the offer. On his first day in the new team, he wore a simple dark jacket. When he walked past the glass doors, he caught his reflection. And he smiled. A real smile, not one used to hide, but one that came from peace. He whispered, "I'm proud of you." And for the first time in his life, he meant it. Months passed. His healing continued. Not perfect, not linear, but real. One weekend, he attended a small mindfulness workshop. At the end, the instructor asked everyone to close their eyes and speak one affirmation aloud. David placed a hand on his heart and said with steady breath, "I am deserving of love, from others, and from myself." His voice didn't shake. His hands didn't tremble. His heart didn't hide. He felt whole. Later that evening, as he walked home under a quiet sky, he realized something profound. Healing didn't mean he erased his past. Healing meant his past no longer controlled him. He had learned to choose peace instead of fear, compassion instead of criticism, self-respect instead of self-punishment. He learned that becoming whole is not about finding someone to complete you. It is about returning to yourself after years of abandonment. He stood on his porch, looked up at the night sky, and whispered, "You can heal your life. I healed mine, and I am still healing." And maybe, just maybe, you felt a small shift inside you too. A soft voice whispering that your wounds are not permanent, your pain is not your identity, and your life can begin again, right here, right now, with one simple belief: you deserve love, especially from yourself.